But for Usain Bolt, without question, one of the greatest achievements in athletics history.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the biggest genetic freaks in sports history.
This is not real life. He is not human.
Number 10, Wilt Chamberlain.
Think of all the sports heroes who changed the future of their sport with their talent and their star power, and you have to put Wilt Chamberlain near the top of that list.
The NBA's biggest freak, no pun intended, has to be Wilt Chamberlain. This dude was literally born to play basketball, standing 7 feet 1 inch and weighing 300 pounds, with a nearly 8-foot wingspan and a vertical leap of 50 inches, which is just bonkers. Teammates and opponents have also said that Chamberlain could bench over 500 pounds, and he allegedly outlifted professional bodybuilders.
When 7 foot 1 inch Wilt Chamberlain walked onto a basketball court, he didn't block the view, he was the view. For 19 years, he used his height and his wiles to exhaust every basketball net in the NBA.
Maybe it's an exaggeration, but it speaks to Wilt's mythical status as a freak athlete. Speaking of, he also holds some stats that just straight up don't seem real, like averaging 50 points per game in a season and being the only player ever to score 100 points in a game, which he did on March 2nd, 1962.
And by the time he retired, 72 records were his personal property, including the only 100-point performance in a single game.
Number 9, Wayne Gretzky.
Now that is the magician. Let's see. That one's got to be a beauty, I'll tell you that. Yes, just knew when it was going to come off the board and what angle, put it the far post.
Hockey isn't the most popular sport in the world, but everyone still knows the name Wayne Gretzky. His greatness wasn't about raw physicality. It was an almost supernatural instinct for hockey that nobody else had. He had a hockey IQ that was almost telepathic, and even as a kid, he played at a level far above his peers, indicating the insane natural talent within.
They're mauling Gretzky over in the corner. The fans go wild.
Gretzky had unbelievable vision and a foresight on the ice. In fact, even if he never scored a single goal, he'd still be the NHL's all-time points leader just on assists alone. That's mental. He also holds dozens upon dozens of NHL records and scored over 200 points in 4 different seasons. Nobody else has even done that once.
I don't think that anybody thought that 200 points was attainable in the National Hockey League. And so when I got to the 200 the first time, even I was pretty excited about it.
Number 8, Brock Lesnar. You have to be a pretty big deal to headline UFC 100. Brock Lesnar was that big deal. This dude hit the genetic jackpot with the ability to swiftly move like a lightweight despite being 6'3" and weighing 300 pounds. His raw strength is also unbelievable, throwing around 300-pound men like a dad playing with his kids. But he's also a multi-sport beast. Lesnar was once the best collegiate heavyweight wrestler in the country, later made himself a legend in the WWE, nearly made the Minnesota Vikings, and won the UFC heavyweight title in just his 4th fight. That's unheard of. Lesnar was physically overwhelming to even the greatest veteran fighters, and he's the blueprint for what a once-in-a-generation combat sports phenom looks like. Number 7, Michael Phelps.
Baltimore native and legendary Olympian Michael Phelps says he's done with competitive swimming. Again.
Someone call P.T. Barnum, or, the modern equivalent, because we may just have the world's first half-man, half-fish. This guy's body was basically lab-engineered for swimming. He's 6'4" and has natural paddles in the form of his 6'7" wingspan. He also had a long torso that gives him a larger surface for buoyancy and powerful dolphin kicks with his long legs and size 14 flippers. Sorry, feet.
That, of course, our good friend Michael Phelps adding another milestone to his already legendary career.
That's right. He was inducted into the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Hall of Fame on Friday.
He also has some insane physiology with double the lung capacity of the average male and a resting heart rate of 38 BPM, signaling elite, almost superhuman endurance. And after setting 39 world records and winning 23 Olympic golds, the results speak for themselves. No one even comes close to matching Phelps' physicality in the water.
By the way, can I just say, Boomer Phelps, already more athletic than me. There you go. By a long shot.
Number 6, Shohei Otani.
Taylor Ward comes in. Velasquez is out being called off, and Ward has it to end the inning for Shohei Otani. 7 innings, 12 strikeouts, 1 run, a masterful performance.
Once in a while, a player will come along and redefine what is possible in a sport. This is what Shohei Otani did for baseball. Typically, players specialize in either offense or defense, so it's very rare, unheard of even, to see a starting pitcher also be an elite hitter.
Shohei Otani leads off the bottom of the 6th inning. There's a drive! Shohei Otani gets the Angels on the board with his 30th home run. This ball went 493 feet.
In 2023, Otani crushed 44 homers while notching 10 wins as a starting pitcher. A mind-boggling effort that resulted in the Dodgers signing him for $700 million, which was the largest sports contract ever. And in 2024, Otani was unable to pitch owing to an elbow surgery, so he became the first player in history to hit 50 home runs and steal 50 bases in a single season instead.
Shohei Otani has reached 50, and he's reached 50 on the same day, September 19th, 2024. Something this game has never seen. Otani's done it. 50-50.
Number 5, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Right, we're going to talk about this guy, Cristiano Ronaldo. 900 goals, and next up, he's up against Scotland.
Yeah, 899 more than you, Pete.
Soccer is such an insanely popular sport, with so many historic and prospective players from around the world that you have to be a genetic freak to stand out as the GOAT. Cristiano Ronaldo is a physical specimen that belongs in a lab. He's been clocked at speeds over 33 kilometers per hour, has a 30-inch vertical leap, and at one time had a body fat percentage of his 7%. In one game, he scored a header with a 2.93-meter jump, which is legit NBA territory. This dude is a track athlete who just happens to play soccer. Of course, this athleticism is translated into on-field results with his 900-plus goals, making him the most prolific goal scorer in the history of the sport.
I will put the level even high. I want to reach 1,000 goals. This is, for me, it's the most important. I want that.
Number 4, Usain Bolt.
As David Colbert reports from the Olympic Stadium, Bolt smashed his own world record in an unforgettable run.
When the fastest human being in history is the given name Usain Bolt, you have to start wondering about things like divine intervention. Bolt has a ridiculous combination of size and speed, standing 6'5" and owning some insanely long legs that allow him to take fewer strides than his competitors. He also accomplishes unreal acceleration and top speeds, even reaching 44.7 kilometers per hour in 2009, the fastest that a human being has ever been clocked running.
Usain Bolt is 2 for 2, 2 races, 2 world records. In the final of the 200 meters at the World Track Championships in Berlin, the Jamaican sprinter won in 19.19 seconds, breaking his own world record set last year at the Beijing Olympics.
Bolt was so dominant that he often coasted at the end of races, like casually jogging the last few meters and still leaving his competition in the dust. Bolt didn't just win races. He won by margins that made the world's most elite sprinters look slow.
You surprised? I wouldn't say surprised because I knew that anything was possible, so I'm feeling good.
Number 3, Mike Tyson.
Tyson not afraid, as we expected, and Spinks ready to mix it up with him. Tyson along the ropes doing damage.
For a long time, this guy was the final boss of boxing, literally. He had his own video game and everything. Prime Mike Tyson was in a world all his own, with an unreal combination of power and speed, not to mention reflexes that made him look like Neo. This guy could dodge bullets if he wanted to.
Yet their strength and their speed are still based in a world that is built on rules. Because of that, they will never be as strong or as fast as you can be.
Of course, most people remember Tyson for his monstrous punch, generating elite knockout power with mere inches of arm movement. In fact, scientists once analyzed Tyson's punch and measured 1,800 psi, which is like getting hit in the face with a sledgehammer. Tyson often had elite heavyweights on the canvas in the first round, and watching him work was simply magical.
And that is the first time Michael Spinks has ever been down in a professional fight.
And he's down again and in serious trouble. A right hand right on the chin.
Number 2, Jim Brown.
Jim thought on Sundays, and these are his words, that he was a god, that nobody could hurt him, nobody could touch him, nobody was better.
Some people are just naturally good at everything they try, like Jim Brown. He was an athletic monster at Syracuse, playing varsity baseball and becoming the second leading scorer on the school's basketball team. He placed 5th in the national championship decathlon. Oh, and underrated flex, he's also possibly the greatest lacrosse player of all time. They literally changed the rules of the game because of him. Brown cradled the ball so well that defenders physically couldn't knock it loose, so the rule was changed, requiring the stick to be in constant motion. Oh yeah, and then there's his legendary NFL career, and he still holds the record for the highest average rushing yards per game with 104.3. So yeah, the guy was pretty talented.
He is the only runner ever to average over 100 yards per game and over 5 yards per carry for a career.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Bo Jackson.
And there he goes!
He's just hit the longest run in Raider history. 92 yards.
To this day, Bo Jackson is the only athlete to be named an All-Star in 2 different sports. Jackson was a freak on the football field, and despite only playing 4 seasons, he still left an undeniable mark. He was a one-man army, bulldozing through linebackers, outrunning defensive backs, and in one game rushing for 221 yards and 3 touchdowns.
And only one man to beat, and easily can't run him down. He had the angle, but there goes Bo, and nobody catches Bo. Touchdown.
He may not stop till Tacoma. He's gone. Portland. He just went by Spokane.
And there go the Raiders into final.
And he'd do all this after baseball season. You know in video games when you make a character and crank every stat up to 100? That was Jackson hitting 450-foot bombs, throwing out players from the warning track, and climbing the walls like Spider-Man. Jackson just had an aura to him that no other athlete before or since has captured.
He didn't even try to hit a cutoff man. He must have thrown this ball over his cutoff man's head by 20 feet. He just turned and launched.
What other freaks of nature do you know? Let us know in the comments below.
The greatest day in baseball history!
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.